took some time out of his morning, the fact that he took some time out of his morning to come on here and just pour into us, right? Because these Wake Up in a Sense, guys, I want you to know this is where you're really going to be able to start your day the right way, with the right mindset, with the right motivation. And not only is Jefferson a top leader here within My Daily Choice, but he is also an 8-figure earner in this industry. And I want you to know that if you haven't taken out your notebooks and pens, I need you to take that out right now. Turn on your cameras. I want you to go ahead and put your focus, laser focus in. If you're driving, pull over to the side, right? You want to be able to pay attention. If you're sitting in bed, guess what? Wake up and ascend, because on this call, you're about to get so much massive value starting right now. I'm going to go ahead and pass it over to you, Jefferson. Thank you so much for being on here, for being our special guest, and for taking the time out to be here with us. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for having me on here, by the way. It's an honor to be here this morning, hanging out with you guys. I know some of you that are in Europe, it's already like afternoon for you, but those of you that are on the West Coast, it's really the morning for you. So once again, it's just an honor to be here. And thanks, Marianne, with your leadership as well, and what you're doing for all, not just your team, but all the different teams within My Daily Choice. And so what's up, everybody? Good morning. I'm excited to be here with you, and I've got a couple things I want to share with you. I know these Ascend calls are supposed to be power-packed, right? So obviously I won't be long with you. I want to get you to think about a couple of things that you might already know about, but I talked about this on Sunday. I said success is in the nuances, right? It's how you look at things, right? What is it? If you change the way you look at things, the way you look at things change. I think that's the quote, right? So it's all about perspective. It's all about looking at things from different places. And so it is the morning. And I do really quick want to touch on morning routines. I think it's important to get in some sort of a pattern or a habit. You know, I know some people are like, oh, you got to get up at 5 a.m. And then somebody's, I get up at 4:30 a.m. And then somebody's, I get up at 3:47 a.m. It depends when you go to sleep. Because if you went to sleep at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, then okay, what's the big deal? It's important to get some sort of sleep, but everybody's different. Some people I was talking to Josh the other day, Josh Wiggle, our founder. And I was like, dude, how much do you actually sleep? He's I'm good with 4 or 5 hours of sleep. That's his normal. That's his baseline. He can do that. I can't do that, but that's what he does. Some of you need the 7.5 to 8 hours of sleep, but you can oversleep too. You can never catch up on sleep. Anyway, you just got to do it, but you got to get in that pattern to where you're going to bed at a certain time and then you're waking up at a certain time, right? So you know where you're at. So I'm not really talking about when you wake up in the morning, but it is when you do wake up. What do you do? What are you thinking about? What's your intention? And so some people pray. I pray. Some people just think for a second. They touch their limbs and their body, and they're like, I'm grateful for my health and my eyes and all these things, right? There's a lot of different things you could do in the morning. But I think one of the key things is not grabbing your phone right away and checking Instagram, Facebook, and all these different places, because then you're in reactionary mode, right? I talked about this on Sunday. You want to operate from the future time zone, not from the past, right? But I'm not talking about that today. I'm just talking about morning routines. If you can, get moving, walk around the street, get on a treadmill. If you have one at your apartment complex, in your house, go up and down your stairs. If you've got stairs, get in motion. There's that mind-body connection that's so important. Or get to the gym if you can. I get my workouts done in the morning because I want there to be margin and space to be able to be flexible, to do different things, take certain calls, take Zooms, do whatever as the day unfolds. Because we all know the day's unpredictable, right? But if I can get the big rocks in first, meaning the most important things to get my armor on, we all have a breastplate of armor that we put on in the morning, right? Some of you might read the Bible. Some of you read some personal development. Some of you listen to stuff, whatever it is. Okay. It's good to get good stuff in. You want to be thinking about good stuff. You want to get your body moving, right? And so I've already done all that. I've already done my workout. I've done my stretching. I've done all that stuff. And I did it a little earlier this morning because I had this training that I was asked to be on. The other thing that was interesting is both my wife and I woke up at about 3:30 this morning because our dog was barking or whatever, and we couldn't get back to sleep. And so that's something else that I'm sure you've been there before, where you can't get back to sleep. But here's the thing. I still woke up when I was supposed to wake up to do the things that I needed to do, take our kids to school, all that kind of stuff, to work out, to be ready for you today. And so the question is, what are you doing when you wake up in the morning to put yourself in position to win? Right? What are you thinking? David Goggins said this. You guys have heard of Goggins. He's the guy that he was like 300 plus pounds. And then all of a sudden he decided to be a Navy SEAL, and crazy story. He's got a book called You Can't Hurt Me. He was talking about, he goes, everything begins with the truth. Your truth is the starting line. Okay. So when you think about that, the truth is the starting line. I don't know if you weigh yourself in the morning. I know that muscle weighs more than fat and all that kind of stuff, but do you weigh yourself, or do you like, I don't want to weigh myself because I don't want to see the truth. Or I don't want to look at my back office because I don't want to see the truth. I don't want to look at my bank account because I don't want to see the truth. That's the starting line. Okay. That's where everything starts at AA or whatever habit somebody has. It's like this true start with admitting where you're at. We always look at the map. We're in the subway, we're at the mall, whatever. It says you are here. Where are you in your journey? Truthfully, really, right? And owning that and being responsible for that, that's where the starting line starts. And guess what? We can all start over today. If yesterday wasn't good, last week wasn't good, last month wasn't good, we have the power to start over today, right? A couple of concepts I want to talk about. I want to talk about the padding in your life. Like padding, like cushion. Okay, here's what I mean by that. This will be a little shameless plug for my book too. So I got a best-selling book called Higher Life Design. And in the book, I talk about the integration effect. And this is how you get cushion in your life, padding, meaning this. A lot of us in a moment might not feel confident, but you need to draw on that padding, that cushion that you've created for yourself. And here's how you do that. You integrate the wins. It's so easy for us to integrate the losses, right? Oh, I tried to get a front row parking spot. I was pulling in and then some other car just took my spot. It's like, oh man, that sucks. Or you're speeding in a school zone, or you missed a call, or you missed a Zoom, or you missed a meeting. You were late for this or late for that. All these different things we tend to integrate and drink the poison and beat ourselves up about it. And so 80% of the time we're beating ourselves up all the time, but then 20% of the time, even less, you're actually talking good about yourself or celebrating the wins. And so we got to flip that. Okay. And so you got to celebrate the wins, even if it is, you got a front parking spot at Walmart or Target this morning, or you're able to finally get to the gym this morning, or you were finally able to move a little bit and stretch a little bit, or read 10 pages of a book that you've been promising yourself you're going to get back on. And now you finally did it. You got to integrate that stuff. When somebody cuts us off on the highway, it's easy to get mad and literally let that moment ruin the entire day, right? And so we got to be careful what we're paying attention to and what we're integrating. You might have heard me talk about this before, RWID, relative weight of importance and duration. What kind of relative weight and of importance and duration are you giving certain things, right? So if somebody does cut you off on the highway or the street, how much relative weight and importance and duration, meaning time, are you giving to that person you don't even know that cuts you off? For all I know, they could have had a baby in the car that was hurt and they're trying to rush them over to the ER. Like when somebody cuts me off, yeah, there's a slight second. I'm like, okay. But then I tap my brakes, I let them go. I'm like, you know what? They need to get there faster than I do. And that's it. I let it go. It's water off a duck's back because I'm thinking about, I got more important things to think about. But I get it. We've all been there. Either we're hangry or whatever's going on, and we just had an argument with somebody, and all of a sudden, then somebody cuts us off. It just triggers us. But listen, we're meaning makers. You're in control of your thoughts. You're the CEO. You're the captain of your ship, right? So integrating the positive things in your life to draw on that is really key. If you have a digital organizer or a physical organizer, your calendar and all that, do you write down the things that happened today? That happened this morning, that happened yesterday, that happened last month. And if you review those things, I'm telling you, it builds confidence in yourself. It builds the padding in your life that you need. Because if we're always grinding, and you know what? It's funny. I have a love-hate relationship with that word, the grind. I know it's a cool buzzword that people talk about. We got to go grind, but grinding is really, that's 2 gears with no oil, just freaking grinding and then wearing themselves down where now there's nothing. And it's stripped. There's no grip at all. I get it. But I'd rather just be working than grinding, or working hard than grinding, but whatever. Language either limits us or positions us, whatever. It's all good. But talking about integrating right now, I want you to take inventory of your life and really think about what are you integrating. Okay. Also, if you have children, Obviously, we have teams. What are you integrating of what your team's doing? Are you integrating they're not making enough sales? Why aren't they raking up? Why aren't they signed up for convention? Are you integrating that? Or are you integrating, man, that's awesome. I have a team. Oh my gosh, I've got some people on a subscription. Oh my gosh, they're on the Zoom with me right now. They're actually investing in their life and they're positive about their life. That's what I integrate. That's what I choose to integrate because I'm looking at who's on here. We've got a nice group that's on here this morning. And you're the ones that are like, you know what? I'm going to carve out some time this morning and I'm going to listen to this stuff because it's something that I need. I listen to so much because I don't leave myself with my thoughts. I don't do that. So just wrapping up integration here, I want you to choose and look for, they call it okay, hold on. I'm talking too fast. Your reticular activating system, your RAS, right? That's what filters things in your brain of kind of what you're looking for. Meaning, if your brain was in tune to every single thing that's happening, the wind, the bugs, and all these things going on, you would be overwhelmed, overstimulated. So your RAS system basically filters out things that don't need to be paid attention to, and it brings the things up that you're really paying attention to. So like you're in a crowd of people, but you hear your name, bam, you're like, what? Like your RAS is always tuned to your name. That's why it's one of the most favorite things for you to hear is your name. Or especially if you're a mom, if you're a baby crying, even if it's not your baby, you're like, boop. So those kinds of things, right? It's your RAS. The question is, what are you programming your RAS to look for? Your cognitive bias. What are you leaning towards? Are you looking for are you looking for the good things that are happening in your day and in your morning and in the moment? Or are you looking for the bad things? It's just it's a nuance. It's just a little tweak, right? But what is your RAS? What kind of relative weight of importance and duration are you putting on the good things? Or are you putting on the bad things? Easier said than done. Totally get it. But it's a muscle and you build that muscle up, okay, every single day. I talk about this the last couple of events. I talk about the 98% versus the 2%. And so if you want to be a 2%er, okay, it's an exercise you got to do every single day. It's a muscle you got to exercise every single day. It's a decision that you've got to make every single day, that you're going to make 2% decisions and you're going to live in the 2% versus the 98%, right? Okay. The other thing I want to talk about is doubling down, right? It's October. We've got, I think, 23 days left until our convention, and it's time to double down, like majorly double down. Okay. So when you're looking at your activities, okay, and you can extrapolate this to your whole life. Okay. There's the 80-20 rule, right? Usually 20% of the activities that you're doing is gaining 80% of the results, or maybe even 5% of the things that you're doing are getting 95% of the results. So what you got to do is you got to double down. So I'm going to switch cameras here for a second because I want to show you something. I'm going to draw some things out for you real quick. Okay, my other camera. Bam. Where are we at? There we go. Okay, cool. So move my mic. Okay, so 80-20. So let's say right now, 80% of the stuff that you're doing is warranting 20% of your results. So the key thing is you got to double down. So if you double down, that's going to be 40%. Okay. And because you took 20 from here, so now you're down to 60% over here because we're at 100%, right? You can't go more than 100%. I know people can argue that, but just follow me here, right? So you double down on the things that did do well, which means you're eliminating the things that you were doing. So now you're 60%. So let's double it one more time. Bam. Okay. And then bam. You flipped it. So now this is a big change because you just doubled what you were doing. Okay. That was working. And then you doubled it again. But that means you're taking away from all the other crap that you're doing that's not getting you anywhere. So this is actually a pretty drastic change. So if you double down, you're here. But if you double down one more time, you're right here. And imagine what your business can look like or your body can look like. If you're doubling down on your diet 2 different times, right? Tripling down, right? And so that's what's really important. So hopefully take a screenshot of that. Take a screenshot if you haven't done that yet already. I'll move my pen there so you can take a screenshot. But it's just a nuance thing. It's what are you actually really doing that's helping you with your business? So it's interesting to look at it that way. And it's when one of my mentors told me, they're like, they were training us on like how we spend our time in the business. So if you're working 10 hours a week in the business or whatever, 80% is spent on prospecting, 19% on training, meaning training your team and getting trained and all that, and then 1% problem solving. That's the formula. So when you really look at the time that you're spending, and as I wrap up here this morning, the time that you're spending in your business, if you're only working 10 hours this week, is 8 hours on prospecting? Probably not. Is 19% on training? I don't know. Is 1% on problem solving? Probably not. Usually people that are stuck or going backwards have it flipped. They're 80% problem solving, 19% training, and 1% prospecting, right? They got it all mixed up. And so you got to really look at yourself. And I'm talking about doubling down. You got 23 days left till convention. Number one, get your ticket. Okay. Because you don't have the authority to promote the convention in your body and the molecules of your body unless you're going, unless you've got a ticket. I've already got my hotel. I've already got my flights. I've already got the ticket. I've already got all that. Okay. I'm going. Like, it's not even a question. This is my business. This is my life. It's not even a question, right? It's, if you're going to show up for your business, that's what you're doing, right? So make sure you get your ticket. But here's the thing. Every single day, what are you looking at how you're spending your time? Okay. I talked about doubling down, talked about 80, 19, and 1. Are you really spending that much time prospecting? And if you're not really working 10 hours a week, you're really working 2 hours a week. And so that's the reason why some of us, our paycheck, our organization, the growth of our team is not going the way that we want it to go, because we're delusional. I'm raising my hand, by the way, because I've been very delusional many times, where I'm thinking because I'm motivated and because of this and that I'm moving the needle. But the things that I'm doing is not moving the needle. I need to do the needle moving things that move the needle, right? And so take a look at your calendar. Take a look at how you're really spending your time, really. Because remember, the starting line is the truth, right? Listen, I appreciate each and every one of you. Let's go crush the rest of the day. We've got an amazing week going up. We've got Procelerate they're doing their training, the new brand that just came to the table today at, I think it's 12 Central or 1 Eastern, something like that. Check the chats on that. It's going to be awesome. We've got the big business presentation company-wide Thursday night. Obviously, we've got Zooms in between, all that kind of stuff. So guys, we got a big Super Saturday coming up this Saturday, 10 Central. We'll get the flyers out today. It's going to be great, guys. So listen, let's double down even more this week. Marianne, I appreciate it. Marianne, for having me on. I appreciate each and every one of you guys, and take care. God bless.
Wow. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jefferson. We are so grateful for you guys. Drop some fire emojis on the chat if you guys got immense amounts of value, and it was just slam-packed value, like bar after bar, and it was just so short, sweet, to the point. Literally everything that we needed to go out there and crush the day. My biggest takeaway was doubling down and looking at your week and really what you're putting your time to. And everything that you said just resonated. And I know that information that you just gave everyone in here is going to be able to listen to that. And even if it's that one person that hears it and says, I'm going to go out there and crush it and apply. But guys, these Wake Up and Ascend calls, we do them every single day, Monday through Friday at 10 a.m. Central, 11 a.m. Eastern. And this call, we did it a little bit different because we had our special guest on here with us, but normally we'll do our meditation, we'll do our goal setting, we'll do our prayer in here. And so just to end off the call, since we do have a few minutes, guys, I'm going to go ahead and just give a few minutes for us to go ahead and put 3 minutes to goal setting, guys. And the importance of writing down our goals is super crucial. When you have a direction, when you know exactly what it is that you're working towards, you have a GPS in your mind, giving your mind the direction of where to go, right? And this month heading into Ascend, right? If your goal is 1K, if your goal is 5K, if your goal is 10K and above, you need to make sure that you're writing down your goal and you know exactly what the expectation is going to be and how many people you're going to bring to Ascend with you as well to help you with that goal. So let's go ahead and take 3 minutes, guys, to write down our goals. I'm going to go ahead and share the sound here really quick so we can just take 3 minutes to write down our goals. Just one moment so I can pull that up for you guys.
Hey, Marianne,
I am so excited. Oh, go
Marianne, while you're pulling that up, after we're done with the goal thing, I'd love to say a quick prayer for the team before we wrap up. Is that cool?
Beautiful.
Okay.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. I just got chills. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen now. And we should be able to hear it.
Continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing quantities through multiple sources on a continuous basis. I'm so happy and grateful now that money comes to me in increasing.
All right, Jefferson, you're going to take it from here.
Yeah, we'll take it from here, guys, and we'll wrap it up. Yeah, listen, I think prayer's very important. And for me, I know we all have a lot of people have different things that they worship or whatever. And in my case, it's God, it's Jesus Christ. But I think that saying a prayer is positive words, right? Literally praying over water, praying over your food before you eat it changes the molecular structure, literally, of things. And one of the biggest things that turned the corner for me in my business is understanding I was not in control. My creator was in control, and I was trying to control too many things. And so when you hold the steering wheel really tight and you're white knuckling it, usually things don't happen in God's way, so to speak. So let me just send you guys off with this. And once again, love you guys. Father God, thank you so much for these amazing souls that are on the Zoom right now, or even watching the recording of the Zoom, and just help them have the eyes to see and the ears to hear what it is that they're seeking. And I ask you to bless their businesses, ask them to put the right people on their path in front of them and get the wrong people off their path, to open doors that they can't open and close doors that they can't close. And Lord, I know that you've got a plan for all of us. We know the bigger picture is your great commission is spreading the good word all around the world and helping people realize that you are the light and there's a part of you in us. And so we use this business as a ministry to minister to people on a larger scale to help influence them for good. And Lord, we just thank you so much for this opportunity. We thank you so much for this amazing day that we get to do this, and we get to impact people's lives, and you get to speak through us in this business that we run. So in Jesus' name, we thank you so much. Amen. All right, guys, rock and roll.